Okay, I won't make sound effects. Hi, welcome back to Cook Like Chris with Chris Cooke. I'm your host, Chris. Today's episode, we're making Yorkshire puddings. For those of you who know what Yorkshire puddings are, great. If you don't, it's a little hard to describe them because they're not pudding. It's not bread. Kind of looks like a pastry, but it's not. All I know is that they're delicious and they go great with any type of meat main course, especially one that has gravy or a sauce. The recipe we're doing today is from food.com. You can find the links below to that. It's actually listed as Gordon Ramsay's Yorkshire pudding recipe, so this should be fun. Let's see what we need to make this. Eggs, milk, salt, flour, vegetable oil. Okay, so now we're going to take all of our ingredients basically and blend it all together. You want to make sure all the lumps are off. You don't want it to be lumpy at all. Nice and smooth. Okay, looking good. There we go. Okay, now that everything's blended up, what you're going to do is you're going to take your batter and you're just going to pop it into the fridge. Okay, now that that's done, you're going to preheat your oven for 425 degrees. While it's doing that, we are going to grease up our cookie tin. And all we're going to do is just put a little bit of oil into each cookie tin here, just a little bit. So, Chris pro tip, use a brush to actually paint out and spread out the oil in the entire muffin tin, because there's nothing worse than having perfectly golden brown puffy Yorkshire puddings and then having them be completely in the tin and being try to take them out. You put your pan in the oven because you're going to want to get that pan really hot, even to the point where that oil is smoking. And our pan is smoking hot in there. It's time for the complicated part of this whole process. So out comes our batter that's been resting for 30 minutes. It's nice and cold. And here comes our smoking hot, piping hot pan. There it is. Okay. And now we're going to add our batter. And you want that sizzle. That sizzle is a good noise. In this process, you kind of want to do as fast as you can, and ideally fill up each cup about 2/3 of the way in one go. Yeah, there we go, good sizzle. Now we're going to put the pan back into the oven. And we're gonna let those bake for about 20 minutes until they're all puffy and golden brown. So our Yorkshire puddings are done, but this is a really essential part here. Chris pro tip, don't pull your Yorkshire puddings out of the oven right away. Open up the oven a bit and let them sit in there while it cools down a bit, because the big temperature change from coming out of the oven could cause them to flatten out and shrink like a souffle. Here we go, let's see how these bad boys turned out. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice and golden brown. And they're even moving in their cups, which is a great sign, which means they're gonna come out nice and clean. So the recipe we're following, the Gordon Ramsay Yorkshire pudding recipe, says that these should be 15 to 20 minutes in the oven. I actually had these in for 24 minutes. Plate these, and because they're Yorkshire puddings, there's not really anything to plate them in except for putting them in our bowl here. So these are looking delicious. There's only one thing left to do, and that's to test these bad boys. That's pretty good. And I don't know if you can see this, but it's nice and and flaky on the outside and nice and soft still and puffy on the inside. It's perfect. Thanks again for joining us on Cook Like Chris. I'm really happy about how my Yorkshire pudding turned out. Let me know how yours did in the comments down below. As always, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if there's a recipe you'd like to see us tackle, you can also do that in a comment down below. So, until next time, see you later. That's good.